Hey, good evening and welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Brakely, along with the host of Love 101, my man, Naeem Najee. What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? Okay, he's frozen. So, hold on, everyone. Let's see where he at. Okay, he froze on me. Hey, well, tell you what. We're here, Feel Good Talk Love 101. My man, Naeem Najee. Hold on, is he coming in here? Here he is right here. Boom. There he is. What's going on, Naeem? How you doing tonight, brother? We lost you. So we're
Yeah,
gonna take that stream out of there, and there you are. What's going on?
I'm great. How are you, Charles?
I'm doing great. I was talking to you. You were just like, I was like, well, you must be frozen.
Yes, I was frozen in time.
Hey man, hey, great to be here, man. Awesome, beautiful day today. So, I'm hype and ready. Got some vitamin D out there today, so I'm ready to rock, baby. You know what I mean? So, but before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, which is the A Game, and I'm gonna let them tell us who they are. So here they are, the A Game.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
All right, and that is the A Game. Definitely great for your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. So if you want your free sample, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. So what's up, Naeem? What is the topic for tonight, my brother? What's going on? Talk to me.
The topic is you. That means everybody out there listening, it's you. So,
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about what love is and what it's not. And then we'll take questions from the audience and those listening live. And, we got that feedback. So, could you go
Okay.
on?
I got it, baby. I got you. Here we go. Bang.
I appreciate it. And also, I'm going to, if you can share my screen, I have something to show everybody. You know what it is. We're gonna bring it down. Yeah, here we go. We're in this book talking about the facts of love and fear. So this is the fundamental principles of love and fear. So again, I'm Naeem Najib, and I'm here to share the truth about love and fear with you all and how that applies to our relationships. And so the first thing we're going to do is talk about what love is and what it's not, and how we're in the context that we're speaking of it for this next hour, where everyone again is part of the conversation. When we're using the word love, this is what we're referring to. This is how I'm presenting it. No one's meaning or definition is wrong. This is just a way of looking at it that's based on universal principles, so that you'll have a way that's equally applicable to all relationships in your life, not just the romance boo thing relationships, but also family, friends, relatives, everything, everybody. So, what love is? This is FACTS. F for freedom. Love is A for appreciation. Love is C for communication. Love is T for trust. And love is S for sincerity. So, a loving relationship is a relationship where everyone involved is free to be themselves, appreciates themselves and others, communicates with each other, trusts each other, and sincere, and they are sincere with each other. Now, fear, an unhealthy relationship is one where you're afraid to be yourself. There's attack, anger, and abuse going on, whether it be verbal or what have you. There's conflict all the time and no resolution to the conflict. And there's trauma, which results in harsh separation. So now that we've covered that, please take a screenshot. We cover this every talk. But while we're there, while we're on this, I want to ask you all a question, and it comes from this principle, which is love waits on welcome, not on time. So what does that mean to everybody out there? Love waits on welcome, not on time. Any ideas? Anybody want to talk about that? I know we got a little delay with the comments, so you don't have to, you can talk about it. we'll look at the comments. Can we go to some of the comments now? I think we have a few already. Paul says good evening, and Nakia says good evening. Good evening, Paul, Nakia, and everyone who is also in the studio with us, and everyone who's listening to this as a recording. So, do you think I'm gonna have to hit them with the infomercial, Charles? What do you think? Do I have to do that again? Because I'm ready to do it. I don't care.
Yeah, man, hit them with the infomercial. You know what I mean? You know, get a little stirred up in here. You know, because that seems to work. It seems to work. So I'm gonna go back on mute, and if you need me, you know where I'm at. I'm right here.
All right. So let's do this. So here we go. Hello. Would you like to know the one secret to a healthy relationship? Could there be just one thing you're not doing in your current relationship or relationships which is causing you agony, grief, guilt, and overall drama? Would you like to have your relationship be drama-free? What if I told you there was one thing that you could do today and apply in all your relationships, and it takes you only 5 minutes to learn, or less, and even less than that to apply? Would you want to know what that is? There's just one key thing. Imagine having a relationship where you could walk in the room and someone's so happy to see you. You brighten up their day just by showing up or sending a text or giving them a phone call. One thing. What do you think? Would you like to know what that is? And for those of you who were here last week, what was that one thing? So yeah, that's the end of my infomercial. You know, boom, boom, we're back. So Jamila says no infomercial. Well, thank you, Jamila. Any questions though? Because if y'all don't have no questions or comments, then there's going to be an infomercial. So, Izzy says good evening, Izzy, and Jamila says no drama, guilt. No drama, no guilt, I guess. All right. So, what is the one thing that we could apply to all our relationships to have them be peaceful and easy? That's the question too. In the back, we have Cali Soul here in the studio says, I say welcome is about receptivity and time is about expectations. So thank you, Cali Soul. That was the question I asked about love waits on welcome, not on time. So when you say receptivity, you know how you're invited to a reception, you're welcome. It's an invitation. If someone is, you got another member in the back behind you, Charles. She's always coming to the show. I see her. See Sasha there.
Yeah, Sasha, she's always makes her grand appearance every once in a while. You see her in the background. So tonight, I don't know what she's doing, but she needs to lay down, that's for sure.
So what we'll do is let's go back. And since we said that, could you share my screen again, please? Since we said that love waits on welcome, not on time, what does that mean? If love is freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, and sincerity, that means all of this waits on welcome, not on time. You know, freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, sincerity. You welcome it. You don't expect it from anyone. You don't say that, well, in time, they'll just feel more free and be themselves. In time, they'll communicate. In time, I'll trust them. That's a big one there. That for some reason, trust relies on time. Like if there's a certain amount of time spent, that there will all of a sudden be some trust that is built. That's the idea that that trust is time-based and it's not a decision that you can make at any time. Trust and love is a decision. You can make it anytime and you can have that trust and that love instantly. And can we get this other comment here where Jamila says, can you talk about communication and honesty? Of course. And could everybody talk about it? What is communication? What is honesty? And you want to say anything about it, Charles?
Oh, okay, I'm on. All right, cool. Yeah, excuse me, I don't know what happened there. I guess it kicked me out for some reason, but anyway, I'm back. Yeah, communication is definitely key. You know what I'm saying? And definitely honesty. You know, my dad always told me honesty is the best policy. So you definitely want to be honest when you're communicating with the person, instead of just giving that person what they want to hear or what you want them to hear. You understand what I'm saying? So again, communication is definitely important and being honest. It all goes hand in hand. You can't have communication without being honest with that person. That's just, that's what that's just a fact. You know what I mean? So again, that's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick to
Thank you. You should have did it as an infomercial. Would you like to hear my opinion? I have, and I'm sticking to it. You know, that. But yeah, thank you for that. There's a there's a something I want to talk about when it comes to communication. I'm going to mention that. No, I'm going to mention it now, and I'm going to mention it again because it's important. Um, Again, we had communication as the C for love, right? So love is communication. But the question is communication only talking and texting and body language and all of this? Is it just that, or is there more to it? And I think we all know that it's more to it, because you can communicate volumes without words, right? Anybody ever said you feel the vibe in here is off, the energy is off in here, because energy carries information, and energy communicates, right? You can tell someone can be like, "Hey, Charles, it's really nice to see you," and it's like you saying one thing, but you mean another thing, which means you're not sincere
it. Right.
or honest. And you said honesty, Jamila. Honesty is consistency. It's when your words, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings match up. So when you ask me how I'm doing and I'm feeling down and sad and upset, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's okay." That's not honest. That's lying. That's not honest. The honesty doesn't mean, oh, I have to tell you everything that happened to me today or everything that's going on in my life. But if I'm going to be honest and I'm going to respond to you asking me, well, how are you feeling today? And I'm not feeling well. I'm like, I'm not feeling too great today. Just not feeling it today. I'm not feeling myself. And that's okay too. And a loving person would receive you, as Callie Soul said, there's reception there, instead of expectations. Oh, well, you're supposed to be, wow, you're doing good. I just seen you make that Instagram post. Seems like you're doing okay. Why are you feeling upset? Blah blah blah. You know, no, we can't put our own expectations and feelings on someone else. So, uh, another thing about communication is something I want to say for all of us as like I guess a check-in. What is it when you only reach out to someone, or someone only reaches out to you when they want something from you? This is a open conversation, y'all. So we talking about love or fear. Is this love or is it fear? When, meaning, is it a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship? When the only time you hear from this person is when they need something. They need money. They need a place to stay. They need a ride. They need you to do something for them. This is the only time you hear from them. Or they're sick. They're upset. They need your help. They need you to co-sign something. Whenever you hear from them, it's that they need something from you. You don't hear from them. Meaning, when you hear from them, you will not hear something like this. Hey, you pick up the phone. Hey, what's going on? Hey, I was just thinking of you. How you doing? I was just wanted to check and see how you doing. You're good? You just crossed my mind. All right. Well, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Something like that. It's never anything like that. It's all like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, you good? Yeah, I was just in the neighborhood, and yeah, you home? Yeah, because I'm here, and I just got, all my stuff, because I just got evicted, and I want to know if you got another extra space in your house. You know what I'm saying? Didn't hear from them in years, but now they showing up at your doorstep with all their bags, that kind of stuff. What is that? HT in the back says abuse, fear, toxic. All right.
Yep, I agree
And
with her 100%.
if we can get to some of the other comments, which is all Jamila
Mm-hmm.
says, thanks, and that is unhealthy,
Mm-hmm.
and you're being used. Yes. And Dreddy Gal says, thanks so much for doing this as always. Communication is possible in countless forms. Silence is also communication. Communication, like everything, also cannot happen without willingness to communicate whatever the chosen form. And it can be used to be helpful and unhelpful, loving and not loving. Thanks for writing 2 volumes on communication.
Mm.
Yes, you're welcome. I got one of them over here. Let me see. There's one. Boom. Communication is not a game. I wrote a book about that. Wrote 2 books. Wrote a few books. So, Nakia says, "Run, unhealthy." You're right.
Yeah, but it's like that. You got people that are like that, man. That's the only time they call is when they want something. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's definitely unhealthy. Definitely unhealthy. So
That's something that we should be aware of, and be aware that we are not being that person. How about this? How about you make a extra effort just to reach out to someone, whether it be text, whether it be email, call, just when you're thinking of them. Remember, we went over this in a show before, Charles. We were like, when you're thinking of someone, that's when they're thinking of you, and you should just try it. Just try reaching out. Just try sending a text. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Send that, and it could be just that. And
hey,
you'll
Nani,
find
I'm going
out.
to tell you that work. That's true.
Yeah.
It happened a lot. It's no lie. I'm telling you. So that does work, believe it or not. So I mean, I know you believe it, but I'm telling everybody out there who don't believe it, it does work. Hey, we got something by Kendra. She said, I think sometimes we waste time waiting for or trying to pull honesty from unhonest people. And that's true. You can't make an honest person honest. I mean, unhonest person honest. That's a fact. So
Thank you, Kendra. And I'm going to read some of the comments here from the studio, our studio audience here. Because we got the studio audience here on StreamYard and the Facebook audience on Facebook. And so Cali Soul says, Selima says, one thing is willingness to share. Cali Soul says, like, would it feel good if someone says, quote, hey, I'm ready to explore what this relationship can be? Or would it feel good if they say, we have 30 days to see if we're compatible? Which idea would you feel would be more, which idea would be more willing to engage in? It's a good question, right? So one sounds like a lot of pressure. We got 30 days. It's like, a Netflix trial run and stuff. It's like, oh, I better see if I can watch everything I can in this 30 days, because like it feels tenuous and artificial, And Shannon Joy says, question, what do you think about the question? I mean, it's hard for me to read, y'all, by the way. I'm a writer, not a reader, so I'm saying stuff that's not there, but you'll get the point. So she says, what do you think about the concept of growing old together, in quotes? Should people stay together because they made a commitment to be together when they get older and possibly sickly and etc.? And that's a good question. So what do y'all think about that? The concept of growing old together, and we made a commitment to be together and to stay together. So does that mean they should stay together when they get older? Well,
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're unhappy and you've been together forever, I mean, sometimes it's just good to just leave. You know what I mean? I think that would be the healthy thing to do instead of just staying in something, being miserable because of the fact that you've been with someone for a long time. Sometimes just because you've been with someone for a long time, really, a lot of people get comfortable and they get, and they just figure, hey, I've been with him or her for so long, so it really doesn't matter, what we do anymore because, they'll always be there for me. So again, that would be your choice though. You know what I mean? So again, you would have to, if you want to, I guess, branch out and see someone else or start another relationship. But I understand how that could be, you've been dealing with someone so long, like starting over again. That's hard. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, it's about being happy too. So we do have some other questions here. We do have some stuff here. Dreddy Girl says, truth. Thanks, Kendra. I think she said, okay, when she was talking about an unhonest person. And she also says, people are free to be together or not, whatever their age, time together, or circumstances. That is definitely true, Dreddy Girl. It doesn't matter, how long you've been with someone. If sometimes, you outgrow that person or you outgrow each other or you go in a different direction. So sometimes it's easier just to, split and do what's best for both of you. Jamila says, the core of love is friendship. That's true. That's true.
I have a question. What is friendship? Like, what would be the core tenets of friendship? So if there was, I don't know, I'm just being abstract. If friendship
But
was a table with 4 legs on it, what are the 4 legs holding up the table? Like what makes it friendship? You know what I mean? Just putting that out there. And then Jamil says maybe keep the friendship, okay, because maybe you don't have to be together, live together, be married to each other, what have you. I see what you're saying there. HT says, is there love in the relationship? That's a question. Is there freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, sincerity? And I was gonna add, it's about priorities. When it comes to love, how would love look at that question about growing old together and staying together? What's your priority? Is your priority a healthy relationship and a healthy connection, or just a connection by any means necessary, right? We're gonna be together no matter what. We've been together the last 50 years, we're gonna be together, you know? And it's like, but if any of those years or your time now is just miserable and you can do something about it, again, as Dreddy Gal says, you're free to do what you want. The question is your priority. A lot of times our programming says the priority is time, which is what Callie Soul said about, is it time, expectations? Like, well, all of our friends and family were together at our wedding and they saw us get married. And a lot of people are still married. Y'all know this because of what the neighbors would think, of what the family would think, of the pressure from the friends. And it's like, we don't want to look like a failure. It's like, how about you redefine your idea of failure? And again, everything's a lesson that love would have you learn. So maybe there is no failure. Maybe it's just, maybe there's a better way. Maybe there's a way that could work better if our goal and priority is freedom, communication, appreciation, right? Is healthy relationship that serves each of us, right? Maybe, and so that means that if our relationship or even our marriage, let's go to marriage, is proving to be more stressful than it is helpful and easy, then maybe the failure or the the part that's not helpful would be to stay in a situation like that, when if you leave that situation you would have more peace of mind. I'm just saying, it depends. If you think that other people are the ones who get to decide your relationship's health and success, and you'll never be happy because your life is lived for the other people's arbitrary thoughts, feelings, and opinions, which are not your business anyway.
right.
And what does them being their approval of your relationship mean to you? Is they're like, well, as long as I'm happy with your relationship, I'll send you $10,000 a month. It's like, well, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean to see us smiling in Instagram photos together? If so, we can smile in Instagram photos and collect that check, but it don't have to mean that we actually happy together. But I don't know of anybody that says, hey, I approve of this relationship that you have, Naeem, Charles, Jamila, anyone. Here's $10,000 a month because that's what my approval means. $10,000 a month to you. Like, no, it's just people either they like you or they don't. And it's none of your business either way. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
I think we can go back. I think nowadays, married, like you said, being with someone is back when we were coming up, our grandparents and our parents, they believed in, like you just said, being with each other no matter what. We've been together, for 50 years. We want to stay together for the kids. We want to do this. We want to do that. I don't think so now is not as, I don't think relationships are, I mean, you see so many divorces now compared to when we were coming up, as far as our, like I said, great grandparents and grandparents. I think it was more, I could prevalent. It was more so back in the day. I don't think it's like that anymore, because I see people, you see it all the time, people getting divorced left and right. So I think people are taking, I guess, that freedom and they're using it and getting out of these relationships more so than they did back in the day. I don't see that no more. You don't see too many people being married for 25, 30 years anymore. Not in I don't see it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think back then it was more, you had to be because your parents did it. So we got to make sure we make it work for the kids and how we look, for our kids and grandchildren and stuff of that nature. So,
And a note on that, Charles, kids know when there's tension in the house, whether they're babies or whether they're grown. They know when y'all in it just because you feel like you got to be, and when you actually there because you want to be, because they model their behavior for being in a relationship or for what they see their parents or their guardians
Yeah.
doing. And if you're in there because, oh, I really hate your father or I really hate your mother, but we here for you. It's like how, but the hate is what
Yeah, you can
is
still
built.
see it, right?
Yeah. And so there's a way to of course take care of responsibilities and to raise children and not have hate involved in it. And especially if being together is going to perpetuate that. But again, it's about what you value. And I was thinking, or from some of our comments and questions, that the idea when people stay together, like you were saying earlier, oh, because we've built so much together, we've
Yeah.
been together so long, and I know you, and even though you crazy, I'm crazy, we know each other's crazy, that sort of. I think it's sometimes about fear of learning to reconnect. It's like when you get out of a 5, 10, 15-year relationship, and it's like a large portion of your life was that relationship, that identity of being with this person. When we're talking romantically, marriage, what have you, living together with someone, you have to learn how to be an individual again if you weren't being one in that relationship. You have to learn how to, learn yourself, learn what it is to not be in that form of relationship. And if it was a beautiful relationship that took its natural course and had its natural, transition, that's fine. It won't be so rocky of a ride. But if it was something where you were heavily invested in, your identity was what it meant to be this person's fill in the blank, or they were your fill in the blank, then it takes some effort to unlearn that. But what I also want to say is that, going back to infomercial mode, what if I told you that the bond that would be created in an intimate 10-year relationship, that you could save massive amounts of time? At the same time that some people take 3 years to build this bond, this trust, this communication, that you could build that in 3 months. What if I told you that there was a way to save so much time that you could feel like you've known someone for your entire life, but you only met them last summer? What if there's a series of steps you can take, questions to ask, and a communication pattern and model that you can use to emphasize and exalt the love and the communication and the trust in your relationship and blossom that flower of sincerity and love and communication 10 times faster, 20 times faster? That in 1 month, you could do what most people do in a year. That you can form a connection where, you know what, we can do anything together. Why? Because we laid the foundation for our relationship early. And I'm talking about with new relationships now, because we're transitioning from, okay, what if you're growing old? Let's say someone decided to leave a relationship and they were afraid of what it would mean to build another relationship. I'm giving you the infomercial for what it would mean to save time in building that connection. Of course, there's no identical connections that you'll have with any two people, but a deep connection, a broad and deep connection with any person of your choosing, where you both decide that this is what we want to do. In the matter of a season, you can create a foundation of love and trust, sincerity that would have taken a decade. What do you think about that? Would you want to know how to do that? All right, that's the end of my commercial. Let me go off screen real quick. Okay, I'm back on screen. I'm regular now.
Hey, Jamila says, wait, I'm sorry, not that one. I wanted to say oh my God, wait a minute, I went to the wrong one. But anyway, these were, we'll start here. She says, as far as the infomercial, she says, okay, just send me the book.
Fear of starting over, being alone. Yeah, that was about, yeah.
That was about, yeah, I was going to go back to that. Yeah, I was trying to get you on that one there. And she says she's sold. Now let's go back to, Jamila was all over this. Let's see, she's all the way up here. So, but before we get that, I want to say what's up to my man, Taymu. What's going on, Taymu? Thanks for tuning in, brother. And, okay, there you go. So, I guess when we were talking about, I can't remember where this came in at because this was a while back, but she said trust. She was naming certain things: communication, honest. She said freedom. And then Do we have this already? Dreddy Gal says, perhaps reestablishing and clarifying the purpose of the relationship and going from there. Yeah, that's I like that. I like that. And Jamila says, a fear of starting over or being alone. That's true too, Jamila. You know, like if you've been with someone for a long time, you know, starting over, like you said, Naeem, you said that too. Like, trying to build or reconnect with someone else. It's kind of hard. It's just like, that person, I mean, y'all become, one to a certain degree. Well, you become one in general. And it's hard to let that go, that relationship go sometimes. Fear of lack of financial stability. That's some people, you know what I mean? Like that's if you come unwhole and you dependent on that person. But if y'all build it together and y'all build something together, and you don't have to worry about that. Y'all could just both walk away. But I see that all the time too, like people that need that other person to get them over financially. Okay, okay, we talked about this already. And Izzy says, yes, I agree with the connection comment. I don't know. It's right up here. So
that one I was talking about, or somebody else talking about connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, thank you for all these comments, though.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna come out of here so everybody can see the ones that come up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's possible though, y'all. It don't have to be hard to connect with people. It just doesn't. You just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have people you're already connected with. Practice.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and Kendra says, I gotta get this one up here. This is a good one. Says, been there, done that. Starting over definitely isn't hard as living in misery. And that's true, Kendra. You're definitely right. That's perfect. You're definitely right. So again.
Say, can you bring that up again? Because that was might need to screenshot that.
Yeah.
Starting over definitely isn't as hard as living in misery. As hard as you think starting over is, living in misery is harder. All right. How about that?
Oh, it is. Definitely. Most definitely.
And so we have another comment here from the studio. HT says more options now. I think that's in terms of, like back in the day when people have much latitude socially and other ways. And now Callie Soul says, I have friends whose children want the parents to divorce because they sense the tension in the house. The kids are, guess how old? 12 and 15. They sat their parents down and told their parents that they should feel free to divorce because they could tell that they loved each other, but they did not like one another. And she gives this emoji, right? So much for making the kids an excuse for staying together. Sweat emoji, like, yeah, so much because I'm trying to do the emoji, y'all. So she says, y'all don't like each other. Y'all should get divorced. We were just trying to stay together for you guys. A stressed face emoji. Yeah, so I think that was good. No, it's no excuse, especially when your 12 and 15-year-old prepubescent children are sitting you down and saying, y'all, look, we know you hate each other, all right? Or rather, you don't like each other. They use wise words. It's like y'all don't like each other, but you do love each other. Meaning you appreciate each other, right? All of that, but y'all don't like each other, and it's y'all can't live together in peace. So just divorce for our sake, please, because we don't really have independence like that to just get out of here as we want to.
Yeah,
that's messed up when the kids got to sit you down and tell you the truth like that.
And we talked about that earlier too. Like kids, dogs, and was it elderly? They could sense all of that. So again, you're not hiding anything as far as that energy when it comes off. They could definitely feel it. You know what I mean? So
yes. And the other thing, people, is we underestimate the resilience of children. Like we pride ourselves on, I lived through a hard life. I've taken myself up by the bootstraps. I've made my own way in the world. I was, a baby. I had to get a job at 2 months, and I raised myself up, taught myself how to walk. I had to fight sewer rats and everything just for a piece of cheese. And now look at me, I'm a CEO and so. But then their little child comes along, like the child falls down and scrapes their knee. They're like, oh no, pick the child up. You don't have to use your legs. You don't have to walk. It's okay. I'll carry you for the rest of your life. Don't hurt yourself. Oh no, you got in a fight. Oh no, we can't send you to that school anymore. Oh no, we have. Like just trying to get the children out of all sense of normal life conflict and things because I don't want my kids living the way I live. They don't have to be traumatized and relive the same traumas you're going to live that you may have lived, but they're going to have life happen to them. Stuff is going to happen, and it's going to be challenging, and they have to learn how to deal with that and to overcome it with your help. But the whole spoiling your children and protecting them from, we call it protecting, but it's really capping them. It is not good for them. I'll give you a great analogy. There are certain moths and butterflies. Butterflies are, more socially acceptable. It's like a moth is like a rat, and a butterfly is like a squirrel. They're both rats. One just has a furry tail. So he's like, oh, look at the squirrel. Then the rat comes around. He's like, get that thing out of here, But anyway, so the same thing, moth and butterfly. Before they were a moth or a butterfly, they were in a cocoon. And there's certain species of them that in order for them to get out of the cocoon, it's the hardest thing they'll ever do. I mean, as a caterpillar, they spin the cocoon around, they go into hibernation, they develop into a butterfly. So they have to struggle with every ounce of strength in their body. And some of them don't make it. Some of them can't get out of the cocoon, just like the chicks have to break out of the egg, and some of them don't make it. But it's like they have to struggle to get out of that cocoon. And you may be sitting there watching one, you're like, oh, let me help it. And you help it, you open it up for them, make it easy for them to come out. And what happens? That creature will fall to the ground and die, and it'll die eventually. It won't be able to fly because nature has developed a process for it to struggle through that transition of cocoon, of caterpillar to become a butterfly. You have to go through that transition. You have to go through that struggle because it strengthens the wings as it's struggling through, and it makes it strong enough that when it gets out, it can fly. And that's what butterflies and moths are supposed to do. Their days of crawling around on the earth are over when they get out of that cocoon. If you help them and you interrupt the natural process of their development, it will handicap them and ultimately kill them. And so the same thing for children. You want to protect them from every little thing. Or they got in a confrontation. They got in a fight. They or we want to protect them. They stole something from the store, and the store owner's like, oh, I'll call the police on you, so and so. It's like, let them call the police. Send them to the police station. I'll pick you up from there. How you like having handcuffs on you? How you like sitting over here? How do you like somebody else telling you what you want to do? I'm not going to just protect you when you're doing something wrong and you're and you know better. Maybe you should feel the consequences of your actions in order to learn better by experience and then do better, right? And I'll protect you from any injustice happening, any unlawful arrest, any unlawful, someone trying to violate you. But if you're in the wrong, I'm not just going to fight for you just because you're my child. You should learn, respect and to take responsibility. So again, it's not helpful when we do that to our children because they need the struggle of certain experiences, like learning to walk, falling down, getting up, scraping their knee, all that, and then prospering and flourishing. So yeah.
Hey, that was an awesome analogy, brother. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's true, by the way, y'all. Look it up. It's true. Even if I made it up, it'd still be awesome, right? But it's actually true. What was I about to say? I said my infomercial. I was taking notes. I said my infomercial on saving time and relationships and staying together forever and all that. And so, yes. So yeah, y'all, this is a great conversation. Thank you all for contributing. Jamila says, real talk, hashtag real talk Kendra. Dreddy Gal says, yes, again, truth Kendra, when she said, starting over definitely isn't as hard as living in misery, that comment. And Jamila says, yes, to what we were just saying. So yeah, everybody. I want to go back.
Yeah, that's awesome conversation, brother. Go ahead.
I want to go back to what I was saying about when you're only calling someone or getting in touch with them because you want something or it's on the receiving end. If you know that there are certain people like that in your life, you don't have to feel like you're being taken advantage of. You just have to stand up for yourself and stop being the one to let them take advantage of you. Because here's the thing, if someone's calling you and they're like, oh, could I borrow some money? You're like, here, fine, it's no problem. And you don't think about it, you don't worry about it. That's one thing. But if you're doing it and you keep doing it and you're expecting them to change, and you're like, they said they was going to pay me back and I never hear from this person, you're having that narrative in your head, then you need to stop. You need to stop lending them money, stop doing that, because now you're using them to abuse yourself. And stop. Just stop. The other thing is the whole idea that when we talked about this before, my brother was on a show with me, and we have products and services by our friends and family, and that we think because it's our friends and family, we should get them for free or for discount when they're running a business. And it's like you go into someone's business where they are set up to make money, to earn money. It's like, oh yeah, you're my family, you're my friend, you're my brother, so give me that for free. How is that supportive of them, right? Again, if they want to be generous and give you something, that's one thing, but to expect them to, just because of the nature of the relationship, you should be on the other side and say, because you're my friend and family, I'm going to give you twice as much money for the same product or service. I'm going to
That's right.
donate to you. I'm going to buy 10 units of whatever you got, and you can give them out as promotion. I'm going to do that. That's what, someone talked about friendship here, and that friendship is the key to love. I think it was Jamila. I was just looking through it. It's in here. But
it was Jamila.
Yep. Yes, the core of love is friendship, is what you said. And I would say a friend would be, appreciative and supportive of you in your financial endeavors, and wouldn't try to take advantage of you, because that's another way of using people. Oh yeah, I know my friend who's an Uber driver in this city when I come. So instead of calling the actual Uber, I'm going to call my friend and have them take me on the same time, the same 30 minutes from the airport to my place. I'm going to get a free ride, but they would have made $50. But because they're my friend, I'm pretty much stealing $50 from them, and they're Uber driver, and I'm not going to give them anything. Or I'll give them maybe $20. Like, yeah, like I'm supposed to be happy because you're my friend. You use my service. You use my time. You expected me to do this for you, and you expect me to accept less than half of the payment as, oh yeah, here you go. Like, no, that's an insult. That's called stealing services. If I was going to order you as like, it says $50 is the cost of your trip at the end of the ride, and you're like, okay, here's $20. They're like, no, $50, right? You're stealing now. But as a friend, it's like, no, you got that, right? So that's crazy, y'all, by the way. And if you're not going to give your friend the same amount as you would give a regular Uber driver, to just call a regular Uber driver, or give your friend the regular amount, or find another way. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
That's their livelihood.
Support that brother or sister. Hook them up. Matter of fact, go out your way. Give them double. You know what I mean?
How about this? It's not like they're not supporting you. It's not like they're giving you a whole ride from the airport, but oh, they're my friend though. So does that somehow mean that, oh, freebie everything? No. My so-called like friends and stuff, like I had my friend last weekend. I was offering him some money or something for something we were doing, food or whatever. He's like, I'm and he's African. He was like, you want to fight? You want me to fight you? Why you always giving me money? Why you always giving? You're my brother. No, I'm going to fight you. And I'm going to fight you for this. Like, listen, like I'm just I'm expressing. I'm like, I know that you said that if I'm with you, you take care of everything and I don't have to worry about anything. I heard you say that. And I'm telling you that as I heard you say that, I'm still going to offer you something for it. And you, knowing that about me, can still say, no, it's okay. I got this. But that's how it is. All right. Because me reminding you that, yeah, oh, no, I got this. Like, no, I fight you. Put it back. Then still, that's my way of expressing my thanks and appreciation. Not that, again, I'm expecting. And again, he already said, like, listen, everything is my home is your home, all of this stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, I hear that. And I'm still going to offer because I want to, and you don't have to accept it. I'm not expecting you to accept it because, some people be like, no, you got to take, that's the reverse thing. You know how people be like, no, take this. No, you got to take it. No, take it. Take it. Like, I'll beat you up if you don't take this money. Like, damn, like you can't let me just give you a gift, like without the money. So again, that's just a little dynamic, but it's a healthy relationship we have. think we have some more. Oh,
Definitely.
Sasha says peace, family, in the back. Peace, Sasha. Thanks for joining. We have another comment
Yep,
here.
we got one more comment up there. We can really get that now. And Kendra says, double chuck. Let's not get out of hand with this friend thing. Hold on, wait. I ain't sure it yet.
Okay.
Double chuck. You crazy kid. All right, whatever. Cool.
Yes. So, anybody else? Anything else y'all want to share? Ask. It was a great conversation. Uh, I'm good.
Hey,
If
Naeem,
y'all,
I want to ask you a question. What do you
yeah.
think about when someone say love at first sight? Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Mhm.
As if that's like what does that mean and what does that look like and stuff?
Yeah, what does that look like? Because I'm trying to fit. A lot of people say, love at first sight. I seen this person, I was in love at first sight. I knew I was going to be with you. You know how it is. So let's talk about that a little bit.
All right, so let's talk about it in the way that we're not thinking about it first, which is
Okay.
this. So let's go. Can you share my
Yeah,
screen?
I'm ready to go down here now and get you right now. Here I go.
All right, so is it possible to have love at first sight using love in the sense of the word of freedom, meaning you recognize someone's freedom at first sight? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That you can appreciate someone at first sight? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just their good looks, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. That you can have communication at first sight, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That you can trust them at first sight, yes. You can trust people you haven't met. Like we haven't ever we it was like after 6 months before we even met each other in person, right, Charles? And then
Yeah, about 6 months. Then I came on up. Yep.
right, I invited you to my home, you invited me to your home. It's
Mhm.
trust,
Right.
before first sight. And sincerity at first sight, yes, we can have all these
Mhm.
things. So the answer is
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And could you go on mute a little bit? It's a little squeaking in the back.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Got you.
Real quick. Thank you. Um, within the love at first sight, that usually is the connotation we're talking about is lust at first sight or attraction at first sight. Talking about, and when I say the word lust, I'm not putting judgment on it. I'm just saying that you have a strong sexual attraction or aesthetic attraction for this person. Like you get turned on, you look at them, like you see them, you're in their presence, you pick up the pheromones, the energy, and you get turned on. That for lack of a better word, not even lack of lust. I'm saying lust because I want to, and I have plenty of words for it. There's attraction, there's chemistry, there's polarity, there's plenty of words. You can have all of that at first sight, and that's also fine. And what do y'all think about that? The love at first sight thing, putting it out there to the audience. Um, and now the thing is, you have attraction. Now, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to use it in the service of love? Meaning, are you going to have a purpose behind following through with this attraction, or are you going to just go based on your physiology and your pheromones and your body and your chemistry and what your nether regions are telling you? Either way, you're innocent, you're free. One way leads to results that will give you peace, and one way leads to results that will give you uh, dysfunction and pain. So everything everything in love would have to have a purpose first in order for it to be healthy. And can we go to Izzy's uh, comment here? Izzy says, "Yes, I agree. We are energy, and it can be felt upon meeting someone for the first time. Yes, you have very complementary energies, polarity. Energy that is very dynamic. You have masculine and feminine charged
That is
energy.
so true. Yep.
So that's all great. But to explore that in peace and exhilaration and appreciation, ask yourself, what is the purpose? What is it for? I feel turned on in this person's presence. What is the purpose of our relationship? Why are we getting together? What is it for? Not just, again, if it's to have sex, that's not a purpose, that's an activity. What's the purpose of your sex if you're going to be doing that? Maybe the purpose can be for healing, for connecting, for play, for rejuvenation, for exploring, and you can do that in freedom, in appreciation, in communication, in trust, and sincerity, and honesty, as Jamila says. And Honesty is consistency, and it's consistency that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment. So you're not just saying words like pickup lines just to
That's
get
right.
somebody. You're saying what's truly on your heart, whether they receive it or not. You're not saying what's safe because you think if I say these words, then I may get in the panties. If I don't say these words, I may not get in the panties. If that's if you're focusing on that, then no, you're not aligned 100% in the sincerity. Your intentions and your words are not matching. So that's what it means to be sincere. So yeah. And no guilt, by the way, everybody. There should be no guilt or shame or fear involving being turned on by someone because it's natural.
That's right. It's natural. It's a natural thing, you know. So hey man, awesome conversation, you know. Hey, what's up, Sasha? I know you said there. I don't know if I said what's up back to you or not, but what's going on, brother? How you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give that back to him. So hey, we got something in the back right here. Let's see what we got. Sasha says, I think love at first sight exists. Pheromones and energy is real. You just feel and know. Doesn't mean it has to last. However, that's true, brother. And you hit you put the nail right in the coffin. We're just talking about that. So thanks for that comment.
I have a saying when it comes to that, and it's that attraction, pheromones, energy, what you were talking about, Sasha, it's enough to get you together. It's not enough to keep you together. Not that staying together is necessarily the goal, but it's enough to get you to come together. But it's not enough to guarantee that your coming together will not be like this, or that it's or like this, mutually beneficial. It's not enough just because you're attracted. You know how they say fatal attraction, like you're attracted, but y'all like hate each other, you know, fight like cats and dogs, but you have that makeup sex and that angry sex and all of that other nonsense. Then yeah, it's enough to get you together, but it's not enough to have a healthy connection. Healthy connection has to be uh, worked through and agreed
Exactly.
on, communicated.
Exactly. Yep.
Like
You
we
right
say
on.
in Love 101, love is a mindset and a skill set that you can learn and master. It's not just something you fall into. It's easy to fall into lust, into energy, into pheromones, into a fatal attraction with someone. That fatal funnel is like, oh, I'm just so focused on, and how I'm feeling in my body and around you. And you can really crave it. It can be addictive, all of that stuff. It can be detrimental, or it can be exhilarating. It can be the time of your life. It can be an amazing ride. But for those, that intensity and that level of energy that you're bringing, you have to know how to operate that vehicle, meaning that vehicle of heightened sexual charge, and not just sexual, but sensual, erotic, attractive polarity, that energetic charge that you may have with another person. Even more so, you have to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to what love is and how to master a healthy uh, heart space in that environment, a safe space in that relationship where it's okay either way to explore these pheromones and stuff or not. It has to be okay either way. It can't be no, by all means necessary. I gotta get you. No, it can't be that way. You can feel how you want to feel, but at the same time, everybody's free. It has to be okay for you both to join or walk away anytime. That's how it has to
That's
be.
right. Exactly. Hey, we got some comments over here. Let's see. Dreddy Gal says, thanks as always. Appreciate these sessions. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Dreddy Gal. We definitely appreciate you. And Izzy says, it's conditioning to expect relationship to last a lifetime. It's conditioning to expect a relationship to last a lifetime. Does energy wear off? People change, things change. What's your thought on that? Is it conditioning? Okay, it's to expect
I'm
relationship.
on
Okay.
mute. Yeah, keep that question up because there's a few
Yeah.
questions.
So your questions
Is
right there. Yep.
conditioning to expect relationships to last a lifetime? 100% yes. That is conditioning. Does the energy wear off? If you mean connections and romantical encounters, yeah, that stuff can come and go and ebb and flow. Look, like attraction can change. Like think of someone you're attracted to. Now think of them in, with a very attractive outfit on, or maybe, less clothes on. And then think of them in a unattractive outfit, like wearing a burlap sack, or their hair all wild or whatever. The attraction can go down many points just based on that, and so that energy, if you're talking about attraction, that can fluctuate, and you can nurture it. You can nurture that energy to stay at or to increase in level, but energy is form, and energy changes, and it's not love. Energy is just energy. You can have energy in the service of love, like you can have sexual energy, but at that attraction, that energy is free. It is appreciative of this person. It is communicative. It is trusting, and it is sincere, and it's sexual, right? Like, so you feel a strong attraction, but it's not possessive. It's not jealous. It's not suspicious. It's not upset. It's not controlling. It doesn't, like, it can be that same, that polarity, that charge, that electric, but it doesn't have to be harmful. Because that one I just said, that controlling, that limitation, that fear-based, that's hurtful, even if it's not sexual. So that if you already have that mindset, oh, this person is my property, I have to control them and limit them, and then it's also sexual or platonic, it's still going to be unhealthy. Just that sexual energy has a higher level of intensity usually than a platonic situation. And then he says, people change, things change. What's your thought on that? Well, people change and things change, absolutely. So I hope that answers the question. But yeah, it is. Let me go back to that conditioning part. We are totally conditioned that we've done something wrong if our romantic relationship don't last a lifetime. When if you ask any 10 people, how many romantic relationships have you had where the first romantic person that you've ever been romantic with is the person that you're still with after 60, 70 years, and you've been with no one else, right? Like, this is it just lasts a lifetime. That's not usually the case. What's usually the case is that you have multiple experiences, romantically or not romantically, friendships, colleagues, all kind relationships have their time, which is like they have their natural, they take their natural course. And it's not necessarily that an energy can wear off or what have you, but again, things change, people change, circumstances changes, people move to different parts of the world and such. And sometimes the relationships no longer tenable, or no longer conducive for both of them in the form that it's changed to. So maybe y'all are both in California and then one of you moved to New York, or maybe you're both in New York, and then one of you, and you spend all of your time together, and then one of you gets a job where they have to travel all the time, and they're only home once twice a month or what have you. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying distance means anything. I'm just saying that the idea that a relationship is not a good relationship or a healthy relationship unless it's lifelong, it can be proved through these two questions. Question number one: do you know people who've been together for, let's just say, more than 20 years, who have a very healthy and happy dynamic? Yes or no? And that's my question. Question number two: do you know people who've been together for a long amount, let's just say 15, 20 years, and their dynamic is toxic? Yes or no? All right. And I'm saying 15 or 20 years because of the time. We're talking about a lot of time. A lot of those questions came up. And if you know of both scenarios in your own personal life, then you know that time really don't mean nothing. Because I'm sure you know people, or you may be in connection with people that you've known for several weeks or months, and it's very great and healthy. And people that you've known for years, that is very great and healthy. And the vice versa, that someone who you just met, you can't stand them. Someone who you know for years, you just can't stand them. So it's not, time doesn't mean anything with that. And as Dreddy Gal says, you can also still, if you want a relationship to be renewed in its energy and its commitment to love, you can revisit or decide to choose to make a purpose for that relationship. Revisit, what is the purpose? What are we together for? What is the purpose of our even being together? Why are you in my life? Why am I in your life? And then just have a conversation about that, and do the appreciation practice, which I'm about to say Instagram, infomercial time. What if there were one thing that you could use in your relationships, that you could learn in 30 seconds that could change your relationships to be healthy and peaceful and blossoming, full of love and life. Would you want to know what that is? What is that one thing, y'all? The one thing is appreciation. And you can appreciate yourself and those in your life right now. And you can do it in many forms. You can do it in a text. You can do it in an email. You can do it in a letter. You can do it on a call. You can do it through a gift. You can do it through a note. You can do it on a boat. You can do it here. You can do it there. You can do it everywhere. Appreciation. All right. So, and the way that we do that is, and I see the comment coming up. Just going to give you the general 3 questions for the appreciation practice. You ask, what is something you ask the person? What is something you appreciate about yourself? What is something you appreciate about me? And what is something you appreciate about our relationship? And then you switch it, or you can go back and forth, back and forth. It depends. Just those 3 questions. You appreciate yourself. You appreciate the other person. You appreciate your dynamic together. And trust me, that conversation, it can be 2 minutes. It can be an hour. It'll change your life. Paul Bryant says, women act on emotions, men act on principle. Do you agree? Let's see. Does love agree? Because my opinions, I don't share them and it don't matter. But the principle that you say, or that your comment, the truth is men and women are both emotional. Men and women are both mental. Men and women are both principled and unprincipled. And so that's it. So that's it. Um, Izzy says, "Oh man, come on, yo, come on, man."
He gonna get something started real fast,
Yeah.
What's up, cuz? He started trouble. There you go.
Oh, but thank you for that question. We need to have questions like that so that we can, look at it, because it's, again, what's the truth? Because anyone can have any kind of thought about it, but the truth is, do you know men who are emotional? Yes or no? Do you know women who are emotional? Yes or no? Do you know men who have principles and whatnot? Yes or no? Do you know women who are principles? Yes or no? Yes. All right, so there you go. Like that's the answer. Because I see your thing here. You said, so basically you have no answer. If you're asking me for Naeem's personal answer, y'all know better than to ask me that. I don't give you my personal answer. It's not your business, and I'm not gonna tell you. But I will give you the truth. So if that's what you mean, then nah. Nobody really gets to hear my answer unless you're a close no friend or something. But otherwise, in public, y'all get the principles, and that's enough. That's more than enough. And that's actually as intimate as I go, because I'm a principle-based human being, and I live what I teach, and that's about as personal as I'll get.
There you go. All right. Hey man, awesome conversation. You know what I mean? And that was great. I enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it tonight. Oh, we got one more comment here. Hold on, we got something else going on. Oh, Paul's laughing, so it's all good, cuz. So anybody else out there get any more comments? Hey, but before we go, I gotta let y'all know where y'all can find us at. I forgot to break that down to you. So let's do that right now as we speak. You can find us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business, and Instagram at Feel.Good Talk. So definitely check us out. And we're all over. And also we're on Roku TV, Feel Good Talk TV, and also on Amazon TV as well. So definitely check us out. If you have that network, you can definitely check us out on that. So again, hey man, awesome conversation, Naeem. You got anything to say before we get out of here, or anybody in the back room, or anybody that's on the live feed? You got anything to say before we get out of here?
I just want to read Sasha's last comment. I agree, it's not enough. It can be the same as a dear friend, meaning love at first sight, back to that conversation. And then he answered that I don't feel there's any difference between men and women emotionally. And then we have Jamila says, yes, I need that. Love books. And I just want to express my appreciation to everybody who came on and participates, who's listening. And thank you all. Commercial on. And
Hey man,
that's it for
like
me.
always, brother. Awesome job. Thanks for everything you do. And hey, you forgot, man. You can't. You never. We gotta tell them, man, where they can get your books at.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
the books. They in my hands. Come get it. They're on Amazon. You go up on there and find them, and just type in my name, Amazon.com, and you'll find the book. So if you share my screen, I'll give you a demonstrate. Actually, never mind. Never mind. It didn't work. So type my name, Naeem Najib, in Amazon. You'll find 12 books by me, and in all types of topics about love and healthy relationships.
Awesome. Awesome. And again, all this work is Naeem Najib's work. So definitely check him out and support the brother. He's doing his thing. And Paul says, see you next week. No doubt, Paul. Definitely appreciate you, cuz. So he'll probably be on live with us next week. So we'll try to get him on here. So we'll see
Yeah, please do.
what happens. Yeah, that'd be nice. So Paul, I'm putting it out there already. So it's on now. You can't back down now, buddy. So anybody in the back got anything? Did you already say what you had to say, Naeem? I'm sorry, brother. Did you say what you had to say already?
Yeah, I just said I appreciate everybody for joining.
Okay. All right, good. Hey, and like I said, thanks for tuning in. This is Feel Good Talk Love 101. You can catch us here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. So we'll see you next week, same time. And next week we'll have the same topic. So if you have any questions, put them in the feed or have them ready for next week. So again, this is Feel Good Talk Love 101. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.